everybody. Welcome to week 16 of the Downtown Dish. I am your host, Katie Schamberger. Let's just go back for a second. 16 weeks, 4 months of the Downtown Dish this week. Can you even believe it? Now, I mentioned last week that we were going to take an international trip around downtown, no passport required. Well, in the spirit of 2020, our travel plans changed a little bit, so you might notice that we are on the streetcar this week, celebrating a significant announcement earlier this week.
North Loop.
Streetcar getting over $50 million in federal funding, so that extension to UMKC is a go. 2025, who's counting down with me? Oh, we're going to have so much fun. Thank you so much for joining us this week on The Dish. We've got lots for you. Don't forget, first of all, Pitch Taco Week is continuing. Head to thepitchkc.com for all your Taco Week details.
Next stop, City Market.
Remember, that runs through August 30th. This week, we are so thrilled to welcome Katrin, co-owner of Affair, who is going to give us some insight into their curbside menu. If you have not yet checked it out, it's delicious. And in fact, we are going to be debuting a new segment this week where I am going to take curbside food home with me, fix it up, taste it. You're coming along for the ride. We're going to have a blast. I want to also welcome this week Megan Kendall, who is co-founder of the Homestead Cafe over on Walnut. If you like brunch, you need to hear what Megan has to say to us. Big thanks this week and every week to our Downtown Dish partners, Downtown Council, KC Streetcar, Kansas City Downtown Neighborhood Association, and Lynchpin Ideas. Big thanks, last but not least, to this week's featured musician, Enrique Chi with Making Movies, which is an international rock and roll band based right here in Kansas City. Not only are they known for their incredible music, but also for their widespread Latinx activism both here and abroad. So Enrique, thank you for lending us your music this week on the Downtown Dish. Alright, big news. Did you see that LeFou Frog's patio is open for outdoor dining? Here's the cool thing too, it's covered. So weather's not totally ideal, that's no problem at all. You can still grab a drink, grab an appetizer, grab a meal outside. They've got lunch and dinner. I'm going after that quiche here real soon, so I hope to see you there. You know what the world needs more of? Brunch. Brunch all the time. So let's talk about that with Megan Kendall, co-founder of the Homestead Cafe. Megan, welcome to the Downtown Dish.
Thank you, Katie.
Let's set it up real quick before we get into brunch, my favorite subject. So you and I, we kind of go way back. Your husband, Jeremy Lane, you both founded the Homestead Cafe together. I forget, Megan, how long have you guys been open? It's been a while.
We opened 5 years this September, yeah.
I'm just, how's it going for you guys? How's that original vision of the restaurant kind of morphing into these crazy times right now?
It's definitely interesting times right now. We still try to keep it going, try to keep it very homey, and our staff, a lot of them are very long-term, so it does feel like home for us, yep. And hopefully for people who come in, and things like that. So.
I love that. And so, I said, the world needs more brunch. And so what I really want people to know is that the Homestead Cafe, now you all, did you shift to kind of a brunch only service right now because of current circumstances?
Yeah, for brunch only. We were doing brunch and dinner. We switched just to brunch. We've been doing brunch 6 days a week for over a year now. But we just switched to only brunch and no dinner just recently.
Okay, so brunch 6 days a week. I love this. Let's talk about pastries here for a second. Megan, my favorite thing. What's your favorite thing to make?
That's always a hard question for me. I am a chocolate girl.
Yes.
Really, yes. I'm all about the chocolate. But yeah, that's as far as I go. I don't know. I was filled with different, feels my mood. Whatever my mood is, I kind of go, ooh, this sounds fun right now. Using seasonal product is one of my favorite things to do.
Yeah.
So,
Well, Megan, and I'm curious too. So you guys, prime spot there downtown, 7th and Walnut. So definitely can easily get to some of the streetcar stops. Uh, Good proximity, kind of right there in between the River Market and more of like the central business district. I'm curious too, like how have you seen like a different customer base kind of coming in the last few weeks with maybe some of the downtown offices not reopen, or what's it kind of looking like for you guys, like from a traffic perspective?
it definitely has been different.
Yeah.
Yeah, the amount of different people coming in. A lot of times we're still having it this summer and people are still trying to travel. So we are getting some out of towners still.
Yep.
Not as many as normal, but
Right.
definitely getting some of them. We have our regulars. Yeah, people that come in once or twice a week at least. They live in the lofts or whatever. Maybe they're working from home.
Yep.
They're coming down. So
I love that. Well, and as if you guys haven't, been juggling enough with just, state of the world, you've got another restaurant.
yeah.
So I want to hear a little bit about that. We're cheating a little bit because it's not downtown KCMO, but, we're all about Kansas City area on this show. One love. Megan, tell us about Deep Roots.
Yeah, Deep Roots Restaurant and Bar is over in KCK in the Turner area.
Okay.
Close to our house. We live pretty close to that there.
Okay.
It's we opened in February. We were rolling pretty good for that first month. And we closed 1 month and 2 days later. We had to close down for a while. So it's been a little rough over there. We're trying to make it work. We're switching over to dinners only because we do better dinner business down there. So over there.
Okay.
And
it's I don't feel like it's the same menu as the Homesteader, but like what's the kind of driving concept in terms of like flavors or culinary profiles?
We do a lot of steaks and pastas. That's more in that neighborhood. So you're gonna find chicken fettuccine alfredo, some shrimp scampi. We do shrimp and polenta that we from Homesteader we brought over there. It's real popular, along with our BLT mac and cheese. So we have a few options over there, a little bit different, but they drive more to the Italian side for steaks.
Yes, okay, that's good. I love a good steak, so oh my gosh. And KCK is such a great area, Turner area. I have some history in downtown KCK. Just love that part of the metro. So that's really cool that you guys are established on both sides of the state line. Megan, anything that people need to know before they head over to the Homesteader? Reservations required or encouraged or anything like that?
Definitely encourage reservations.
Okay.
We also do have outdoor tables, so you can come down. We have 5 sidewalk tables.
Perfect.
So they do fill up fast, especially on nicer weather days. People want them pretty bad. It's pretty nice,
right.
But yeah, so you can definitely come out, have a seat outside, enjoy the day, and have a great time.
Oh, I love it. Now, before I let you go, because, you've obviously got so much to do, our favorite question here on the Downtown Dish, do you have a couple other favorite downtown restaurants, hangouts? I feel like you're not having a lot of spare time to hang out anywhere, but in a magical land where you did have some free time.
There's so many good places to eat downtown.
I know.
We have gone to Banksia. We like that when we have a Monday off. Well, we cook all week, so we like to take a day on Monday and do brunch somewhere else.
Yes.
Of course, on the market, Casey Taco Company. We definitely love Casey Taco Company. It's always really good. I'm trying to think of some other places that we talk. We go to Bristol once in a while for fish. We have a friend, an old servant who works there, so we'll go see him and eat there. So we enjoy that also.
Yeah, you guys, I love that too. I feel like that, like we talked about it a little earlier, but that's just the whole part of the Homesteader is like there's the ambiance, like decor wise, and you're sitting in front of that gorgeous bar. But I know you've got some staff that has been with you for quite a while. So I feel like that even just extends that kind of cozy, welcoming feel, that we're all kind of looking for, even as we want to get out of our own houses, maybe a little bit. Like, we still want those vibes when we go out. So kudos to you and Jeremy for creating that kind of culture. That's really cool.
Thank you so much, Katie. I appreciate that.
Well, you will see me soon, because I'm just still wrapping my head around. Did we mention that enough times, everybody? Brunch 6 days a week.
Exactly.
I might just post up at one of those tables.
Yeah.
Just kind of work my way through the menu. We'll see how that goes. But Megan, thank you so much. I know you guys are everybody's adapting right now, but really cool to know that you guys are making adjustments. Big congrats on that new restaurant in KCK. I definitely want to get over there as well. And you always have a seat at our Downtown Dish table if we can help spread the words, news and events or anything you guys have coming up. Feel free to come back anytime.
All right. Thank you, Katie. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Who else is missing live music and other outdoor events right now? Our friends at Voltaire, Moxie Catering, and Record Bar have come to our rescue. Have you heard about Lemonade Park down in the West Bottoms? It's a new outdoor venue. Everything's socially distanced, protocols in place. Come with your masks. They've got concerts, they've got outdoor movies, they've got all sorts of stuff, especially as we head into the fall. Make sure to check them out on Facebook. You can keep up with all of the upcoming events and everything that's happening there at Lemonade Park, so check it out. Friends, I am really excited this week on the Downtown Dish to welcome Katrin Heuser, who is the co-owner of Affair in the Crossroads. Katrin, welcome to the Downtown Dish.
Thank you so much.
Now, let's back up for a second, because Affair on the website, and as I know it, describes the menu as modern German cuisine. So I'm curious if you could break it down a little bit for us, what that means.
Yeah, of course. A lot of the reason we went with that description is because a lot of people in North America think that German food is round plates with a lot of sausage and dead meat and sauce, dripping over it, and kraut and pickled things. And while that's, I don't know, so it's kind of a perception that's out there that we've kind of, it's followed us along ever since we moved to North America, Canada first and then here, and everybody just thinks, it was like, oh, I don't feel like German food, it's heavy, it's not winter, I don't want to eat this right now.
Right.
So, and that's really not how people eat in Germany. That's maybe a perception. A lot of people in America were in the military and were stationed in Germany, and a lot of those guest houses during that time served those kinds of foods, and they certainly are available.
Sure.
But that's more like home cooking on a restaurant level. So that's not necessarily, though, what German food is made up of.
Mm-hmm.
We have a lot of seafoods. There's a lot of rivers. We have an ocean. We have lakes. So there's a lot of seafoods we eat, crabs and things like that, shrimp, lots of freshwater fish, and so on, like trout. We've had customers come in here. It's like, this trout is not German. But then when I turned it into, I gave it the German title and called it a Forelle, then suddenly it's like, oh, it's got to be German. It's got a German name.
That sounds great.
It was just such a funny kind of a learning curve. Being
right. Well,
out.
And speaking of that, I'm sure that people don't think, fresh vegetables, fresh herbs. I know you all do such a tremendous job of sourcing local ingredients throughout the year, so you've got seasonal menu changes. And I was there, Katrin, we were spending time together on the courtyard a few weeks ago, and I ordered from the vegetarian part of the menu an incredible chanterelle pasta. And what did we say? That was maybe 3 weeks ago,
Yeah.
and I'm still one of the best, not just pasta dishes. And I want to talk too, Katrin, all that thought that you and your husband Martin, who is co-owner of
Yeah,
of Affair.
his menu.
It's such a brilliant menu, and we actually got the curbside menu. So of course, Affair is open for dine-in. You've got incredible courtyard seating. Let's just mention that for a second, because I feel like that's kind of a hidden gem.
Yeah, it kind of is. You don't see it from the street. That's one thing, which makes it difficult to for people to see it and say, "Hey, I want to sit there." It's just got a
Mm-hmm.
little back door, and the other access is through the front, through the restaurant. So most people don't know it. I think that also makes it such a beautiful spot because you hear the downtown
Yes.
noises, but then it's almost completely overgrown with vine, and there's birds chirping, and it's kind of like a magical place a little bit.
This carryout menu that you all have created is incredible. I mean, there's charcuterie, there's entrees ranging from risotto to baked halibut. Speaking of the fish, um, and packages, picnic packages, dinners that will feed a family of four.
Mhm.
Katrin, take us kind of inside this process with you and Martin putting this menu together. Was there criteria that you were using, thinking specifically that this is food that is going to be picked up and taken somewhere else?
Yes, absolutely. First of all, it was a learning curve. Um, when we were shut down March 16th, it's like, what do you do? How do we had a few to-go boxes in house, but
Right.
you don't realize how many tiny little ramekins you need for every sauce. Everything needs to be like that was a completely new thing for us. And so eventually we had everything in house. We needed plastic bags. Who knew?
Right.
All that kind of stuff. So then we thought about what travels well. It like certain, some dishes just are gonna die in a box. So the menu
Mm-hmm.
definitely has dishes on it that are gonna be fine in a car for 15, 20, 30 minutes. I think a
Mm-hmm.
lot of our guests have adapted really well. They have like hot boxes in the back of their car or coolers or something that kind of keep the temperature, and that certainly helps. But definitely the dishes, the sauces are served on the side so they don't skin over. Everything is packaged in such a way that you can take it home, pull it apart, put it on your own plate, pour the sauce over, and then hopefully still enjoy your food hot.
And I am coming in later today. This is such a fun episode of The Dish. I'm especially excited, but I'm going to get my own carryout. So I'm going to have the farm fresh vegetables and the risotto, and I'm going to bring that home, and we're gonna showcase that all on The Dish here in just a moment. But do you have any tips, Katrin, for those of us who are eating at home? Is there anything that we can do um, to make that even more of a restaurant style experience? I don't want to like interfere with, Martin's impeccable culinary skills, but any like garnishes we could add or anything that you suggest?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, if you're really, a lot of people really want to have that feeling of eating something nice, and eating out of a box is just not that great. So
Right.
I would, I would definitely put it on a plate. I always like to pick things apart a little bit and then kind of rebuild them on the plate if that's the
Mm-hmm.
step you want to take, and then maybe drizzle the sauce on later, or, just put it together like that. Most of us, or many of us, have fresh herbs in the gardens right now. There's basil, mint, thyme, rosemary. We have all that stuff growing in our backyard, or edible flowers like nasturtiums, and it just looks really cute when you
Mm-hmm.
stick it on there before you dive in. Take your Instagram photo, hashtag AffairKC, and then go for it.
I'm writing that down because we'll be posting on our own Downtown Dish Instagram, everyone at Downtown Dish KC on Instagram and Twitter. Uh, well, I love that, and of course, we cannot have our modern German cuisine without wine. And Katrin, you, in addition to being co-owner of Affair, are the brilliant in-house sommelier. Tell us, is there anything that you are um, drinking right now or bringing into the restaurant that you're especially excited about? Because people can get wine and some cocktails to go with their curbside food. Is that right?
That's right. Yeah, we have a bottle list. It's a
Okay.
little bit limited on the to-go menu, but everything really is available off our regular menu if people want to call in. We'll offer it retail, not at menu price. And then we have a wine flight that we're starting this week. If somebody just wants to get a charcuterie and cheese box and 3 different wines, we'll change those out all the time and have it available on our to-go order form. What I'm drinking right now, I really don't discriminate against any wine. I'll pretty much drink anything.
Right. Me too.
And yeah, I love those. Like we have a couple pet nats that I really enjoy. I love our
Oh my
Riesling.
gosh.
There's some amazing Rieslings that are available now that our suppliers, our distributors are doing a fantastic job of bringing those in from Germany, from Austria, and different places. And it's just exciting to be able to get those wines here. And I don't know, I just love it. So
I do too. I know we were talking earlier, but you recommended a sparkling Riesling to me a few weeks ago, and I'm just a Riesling fanatic. I just love, feel like when you say Riesling to people, they're like, oh no, it's too sweet. And I'm like, oh, listen, yes, there are sweet Rieslings for sure, but it is an incredible spectrum. And I myself am more drawn currently to the dry
same
Rieslings,
here.
which are just
Yeah.
have such a depth of flavor and delightful. But I'm with you though. I'm dipping my toes into the natural wines, the pet nats, and oh, so good for summer.
And just fun. It's just fun.
Just
You
fun.
know,
Yeah.
trying to figure out what all is out there, and it's just kind of it's fun. But yeah,
Mhm.
that dry Riesling that you had, that's delicious. It drinks. It's just beautiful. Like it's the
It really
perfect
is.
shifty. It's the perfect shifty for when you're done work.
Yes. Exactly. Now, will you offer recommendations, Katrin, if someone is making a curbside order, and maybe they want wine and they're not quite
Yeah,
sure
absolutely.
what to go
Yeah.
with?
Absolutely, and that's something we've talked about also starting this or next week, that we have wine recommendations under each dish in the description on the curbside menu. So that's
Perfect.
not quite up and running, but we'll have it done pretty soon. It doesn't take too long, and that'll be a guideline then, at least, for guests to say, okay, I'll try that.
Before we go, housekeeping item. Best place for people to look at curbside options, dining hours, all of that information is the
Yeah,
website. Would you suggest?
fairkc.com. Everything is on the home page and on the top of every page.
Katrin, thank you for joining us at the dish today. Please know that you and Martin have a seat at our table anytime if we can do anything to continue to help support you.
Thank you so much. Really appreciate it.
So there's a super cool event happening tonight. We're going to get it on your calendar. Everything live streamed on Facebook. It is Green Line Grows KC, a benefit for the KC Green Line Initiative. This is going to be a whole packed evening of speakers, live music, and more, all to raise money for the Green Line Initiative, which is a Black family-owned organization here in Kansas City that uses crowdsourced funding to help historically marginalized and low-income populations right here in the city buy and renovate the houses that they are renting. So much going on tonight on Facebook. We're going to hear from good dear friend of the Downtown Dish. They call me Sauce. This week's featured musician, Enrique Chi, will be there too. Radkey, the greeting committee. Deanna Munoz, you might remember her from season 4 of Queer Eye. Casey Tennant's Mayor Lucas. G.S. Griffin, who wrote Racism in Kansas City, A Short History. All of them, so much more, coming together for this incredible evening tonight. Live stream on Facebook. Please consider a donation to help this incredible Green Line Initiative help more people own homes here in Kansas City. Can you believe it? 4 months of the Downtown Dish, and this week we are really excited to bring you a brand new segment, Dishing with Katie. That's me. we've always been focused on food and drink that you can get downtown, how business owners are responding to the pandemic, what's happening downtown. We want to dig even deeper now and look more closely every week at downtown food and drink and other discoveries that you can bring home straight to your table, wherever your table is. Doesn't have to be in downtown Kansas City. In fact, we are at our dining room table here in Brookside. And earlier on the show, so thrilled to welcome Katrin Heuser, co-owner of Affair, talked about their extensive curbside menu, how she and her husband, executive chef and co-owner Martin Heuser, put so much time and thought into what's going on the carryout menu, what can travel well and still hold up to their just incredible culinary standards. So her tip is to take your food out of the box, out of your carryout container, and plate it. That's already going to make you feel a little more like you're at a restaurant, you're dining out. And so tonight we have dished up their summer vegetables with an herb cream sauce and a freshly made dumpling. And then I'm really excited to try the risotto with apricot. I mean, just gorgeous, huge pieces of apricot, gorgonzola, little fresh rosemary on top, and here's the twist, white chocolate in the risotto. So, I mean, we're kind of getting dinner and dessert in one meal. Katrin is the sommelier there at Affair. She recommended this incredible bottle of Riesling that they just got into the restaurant, but they do have a wonderful wine list that she has created. They've got to-go cocktails. Wine flights start this week, so you could get a wine flight and a cheese plate or some charcuterie. There's picnic packages. I mean, they are really going all out, but I think that we need to taste some food. Gotta dig into this risotto first. Get a big piece of apricot. That's incredible. Here's a couple quick things. First of all, I don't really like gorgonzola, and this is delicious. So you get that pungency, but it's muted. It works really well with the other flavors. I'm a huge fan of apricot. The chewy texture is really nice with the perfectly cooked arborio rice for the risotto. I make a really mean mushroom risotto. It's one of my favorite things to cook in the winter. I make the stock from scratch and then make the whole thing. Haven't really found many risottos that I like as well as the one I make, and honestly, no BS here on the Downtown Dish. This is incredible. And you know, you might think too, like, ooh, do I really want risotto in the summer? Like, it's kind of, you know, I think it's a heavier dish. Again, wonderful flavors here, lighter sauce. The fruit really just brightens it up. So I think especially paired with their summer vegetables, which you can just tell this local bounty. I mean, I see carrots, I see butternut squash, I see these incredible chanterelle mushrooms that I had in pasta the other week that was sensational. Nice slice of fresh corn. I love corn on the cob with that cream sauce. Wow. Vegetables still got a little firmness to them, even though they're cooked. But really, we're eating the vegetables to get to that sauce. I love a good sauce. It is herby, it is creamy. I gotta try a little bit of this dumpling because I feel like this is gonna be even better. Yeah, it's giving me like kind of like stuffing vibes, you know, Thanksgiving stuffing vibes, but really nice to kind of, you know, your nice light summer vegetables. You're getting all these gorgeous flavors of the season, but then you've got this kind of heartier dumpling, this cream sauce. So it really is, again, when you're thinking about eating in the warm weather, and Katrin telling us that, you know, German cuisine is not what Americans typically think it is. This is just a beautiful example of flavors combining wonderfully, giving you an incredible meal all at home. Just unpackage, plate it, get your wine. Oh, and that's really nice. So Riesling, we talked about Riesling, drier Riesling here with the cream sauce, kind of cuts through that cream sauce, little bit of dryness and acidity. Am I talking like I drink a lot of wine, like I've been reading about wine? Because I have. I know we all miss dining in restaurants, pulling up a seat at the bar, but isn't it incredible how much work so many chefs and restaurant owners are putting in so that we can have these incredible culinary experiences in our homes where we feel comfortable, bringing these delicious flavors to your table. You don't have to cook. Give yourself a night off. Let a fair or your favorite restaurant do the cooking for you. And we can't wait to bring more downtown food, drink, and discoveries to your table during Dishing with Katie, our newest segment here on the Downtown Dish. And there you have it, friends. 4 months of Downtown Dish in the books today. Thank you so much for all your support, for coming along for the ride. No pun intended. Big congrats to our friends at the Streetcar this week. Huge news about federal funding that is making the extension to UMKC official. Thanks again to Enrique Chi for the incredible music this week. Please come back and join us next week, because it's hard to believe, but it's another First Friday. And next week, we're going to show you how First Fridays happens 18th and Vine style. Have a great weekend. We'll see you soon.